judgment and abdication of responsibility in performing human action this week starts the process of restoring honor and trust. In March, Ridley Thomas will finally have his day in court and a chance to restore his good name. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We welcome your comments.
This is a rather bold pronouncement, but we think we can back it up. If you come across a radio frequency anywhere putting more variety and more diversity on the air than KBLA Talk 1580, we sure would like to hear about your discovery. You got to have vision. You can search. We are confident that you won't find more shows covering more topics, hosted by a more diverse and inclusive lineup of talkers than the squad we have assembled here at KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the time, brothers. This is the time.
We've got something for everybody.
That's right.
Health and healing, history and humor, issues and events, empowerment and entertainment, all in one station.
What's really going on?
Free enterprise.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
King Kong, they got on me.
I dedicate this song to recession, depression, and unemployment. This song is for you.
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. Today's a new day, but where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised to tell me it's alright?
I'll be honest with you.
I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower.
When I think how much better I'm gonna be when this is over.
Even though I hurt, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been it for a while.
What you do?
I smile.
Come on and
smile. It's so hard to look up when you're down. Sure would hate to see you give up now.
God's people.
You look so much better. Smile.
Now every day ain't gonna be perfect, but it still don't mean today don't have purpose. Come on.
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night.
It ain't easy, bud.
Today's a new day, but tell me where are my blue skies?
Where is that love, y'all?
Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright.
The truth is,
I almost gave up a power that I can't explain.
That Holy Ghost power, y'all.
Fell from heaven like a shower now.
And I know we've been hurt, y'all, but still.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. My show is called First Things First. My first thing every single day of the year, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors, the elders, and getting it going. Man, oh man, it's a Talking Point Tuesday, and the talking points are flying. What is Talking Point Tuesday? That's where we break things down, try to understand the origins of the spin. The origins of the spin. Who said it? Why did they say it? Follow the money. Follow the political affiliations. Look for the source. And then decide whether or not the thing you are saying or the thing that the media is saying over and over again, whether or not they acknowledge that it's a talking point, is actually something that serves you, us, we. Because many times it does not. And if it doesn't, we could tweak it, throw it away, or at least understand where it comes from so we can help debunk it when our friends spread the same talking points. A talking point is just a made-up thing that's a made-up slogan, message, or idea that's repeated over and over again until it is regurgitated as fact. And on this show, we go local, hour one. Typically, we look at Cali, the left coast. your town, your city, your zip code. But most of the time, California politics and trends and entertainment thingies are going to be influential on the national and international stage. Cali is a big old state, and it is an entertainment hub. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. We do freestyle phones that hour. You can change the subject to whatever you want to talk about any day of the week. And then on the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person or persons of interest. Also, I do want to point out that you're invited to call every hour. It's not just the second hour of the show. I always want to hear from you. Today, our deep dive, we're talking science. It is the holiday season. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Captain Obvious. It is the holiday season, but I think this is our third year, our third cycle of holidays in the pandemic, and now they're saying it's an endemic. So what does that mean? What's the latest on coronavirus? What's the latest on this RSV? And how do we deal with the flu? You want to talk. If you have questions about something else, we have Dr. Cosette Lyons-Jones joining us, a very knowledgeable medical professional, and we will have a chance to get some answers before we all get together, or maybe while we're all getting together this holiday season, just some information. Always good to have information. You mix that with common sense, and you might be on to something. Of course, you always have agency. People, want to get all weird about health and wellness, and I understand it coming out of this pandemic, and do I take a vaccination or do I not take a vaccination, or jab, as some folks call it, to the point where Elon Musk is calling for Dr. Fauci to be arrested and all kinds of silliness like that, which I call it silliness because to me it's pandering. Like, do you think he really cares if Dr. Fauci is arrested? No. But what it does is it creates this very polarized, very combative conversation around our health. And I think time to shake that off, let it go, because your choices and your decisions are yours alone. And though your doctor can advise you, they are only part of your advisory council. You are the decision maker. That's why, I think it's important to really emphasize that, because a lot of times with us, and by us I'm talking about black people, but probably other people too, I'm just talking about what I know, we do not want to go to the doctor, especially African American men. And I think it's because we don't want to hear no bad news. But if we keep in mind that we are the deciders when it comes to what we do about said bad news, perhaps it would be less scary, more interesting to know what was going on with our bodies. Okay, you have X, Y, or Z dis-ease. Now, if you decide to go full Western medicine, if you decide to go see Dr. Rab and go on some holistic, vision quest, if you decide to do something in between, that's on you. You decide to get a vaccination but not a booster. If you decide to get a vaccination, another vaccination, and all the boosters, if you say, you know what, I don't want to get vaccinated, but I am going to take care of myself and my family by being careful, washing my hands, staying out of crowded places, wearing a mask, or if I don't want to wear a mask, I'm just not going to go. You have options. You have options. I'm going to work on building my immune system. You can never go wrong with that. But yet I see people, even people that I consider friends, talking smack. Let's tone down the rhetoric and stay out of other people's medical files. Let them make their own decisions. And so I'm excited to get some information, because I always do better when I have the facts. That's why we call this fact-based, evidence-based talk radio. You might not agree with me, and that's fine. In fact, anytime you disagree with me, I welcome you to call 800-920-1580. Anytime you agree, too, which would have you calling pretty much every day, 800-920-1580, whether you agree or disagree, call. Because that's how we get smarter. That's how we get to be that informed electorate that we strive to be. Sometimes when you disagree with someone and you argue your point, when I do, I know for sure, I begin to realize why I believe what I believe, and I come up with more and more reasons, or I start saying, you know what, that person's got a point and what I'm saying sounds crazy. Listening to each other and listening to ourselves. Okay, enough of that. It's Talking Point Tuesday, and there are so many talking points to me flying around about the LA City Council, the protests, and bigoted, discredited council member Kevin DeLeon, right? So many talking points swirling around, and I think this is one case where we really do have to set the record straight and be mindful of what we are saying, because there is a lot of propagandizing? Yeah, that's the word, propagandizing, otherwise known as BS, going on right now. We finna cut through it. It's KBLA Talk 1580. We're unapologetically progressive.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Leaving things half done? Not a good option. Like a half-baked peach cobbler.
A gummy crust? I don't think so.
A half-done hairdo.
All done.
Shouldn't the curls be on both sides? Or a half of a domino?
Damn, big six. But where's the other half?
Don't go halfway, especially with your immunity to COVID-19. Keep everyone safer this season by staying up to date with your vaccines and boosters. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find one near you. Brought to you by the
Time WNBA champions, the Los Angeles Sparks, jump into their 27th season this summer with the most games ever in league history. Every seat in crypto is an incredible ticket into an experience of world-class professional basketball, jam-packed with in-game entertainment. Now is the time to get ahead of the holidays. Don't be the person grabbing a gas station gift card. Impress your family and friends with an unforgettable experience. Secure your seats now at lasparks.com/tickets.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-800-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
I've been holiday shopping at Kohl's, and I've got to admit, their deals are some of the best I've seen. I've been earning Kohl's cash every day, while saving an extra 25% on top of 50% off cute PJs and 40% off comfy slippers. Plus, I just got 30% off super soft Koolabura by UGG bedding. With more gifts and more savings at Kohl's, the holidays just got so much cozier. Select styles. Offers end December 18th. Koolabura by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right
now, indeed. 12/13/22. That's the day. You know, a lot of people are still superstitious about 13. There's a talking point for you, an ancient one. Because in the ancient times, 13 was considered a lucky number. Anyway, I digress. So I was talking about, all the talking points surrounding the debacle at City Hall, where the racism, anti-indigenousness, the sexism, misogyny, LGBTQ plus hate, and more, greed, all was coming out on this tape. We're sick of hearing about it. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but we can't get sick of hearing about it because we need to keep talking about it until the last of the conspiring bigots resigns, and that would be Councilmember Kevin DeLeon. So he's the last one standing. Talking point, city. I mean, yeah. So for me, one of the most egregious, is this idea that protesters are the equivalent of criminals. That protest equals I'm not safe. That's BS. That now you sound like MAGA people, right? Because it's a false equivalency. Because if you look at progressive, justice-oriented protesters throughout history, we are not the ones shooting people, beating people up, and harming people. We are not. It's never been us. It has been the conservatives, and so that is a disingenuous and stupid thing, and I wish members of the LA City Council would stop it. Just stop. You know better. Don't try to equivocate Black Lives Matter or the People's City Council or, all of the many organizations that are currently protesting to get Kevin DeLeon to step down. You are not in danger. You know you're not in danger. It may be an inconvenience. It may be loud. It may make it hard to get your job done. Oh, well. And I'm not saying, oh, well, because I don't think your job is important. I'm saying, oh, well, because you guys are not getting creative enough to get rid of this guy. He assaulted a constituent. Where are the assault charges? Where are the conduct unbecoming charges? Give me something. Here's another talking point. What's good for you is good for me. No. And one of the things I'm thinking about right now is Councilmember Koretz, right? His last day, he has a final message to protesters. I yield the rest of my time and F you. No. You're a council member. You're a professional. You don't get to give as good as you get. I don't care if protesters say F you, F you, F you all day long. You don't get to say it back. You are a public official, an elected official. It's like when people say, well, gang members do this, so cops should be able to do it. What? Wait, what? What kind of talking point is that? Cops are supposed to be held to a higher standard. Their job is to protect and serve. They are supposed to be well-trained warriors that stand on the side of the people of justice. They're not supposed to be thugs who protect property and take human lives and shoot children. Where did we go wrong? It's the talking points. That's a big part of it because that's how we orient ourselves to what's right and what's wrong. No, Council Member Emeritus Koretz, you don't get to say F you to the... Here, I'll give you an example. Let's imagine I teach at an elementary school. Well, let's make it a high school. It's more realistic. Or a middle school. And the kids are saying F you, F you, F you to me all day. It happens at some of these schools now. Don't think it don't. Do I, as a teacher, get to give that kid the finger? Or tell them where, to go F themselves? Do I get to do that? If I do, what happens to me? I get fired. That's what happens to me. And rightly so, because as a teacher, part of my job is restraint. That's why, let me not get off on a tangent about these teachers who call the cops on kids and then the kids are being thrown to the ground by police and hogtied. That's all bad. That's the same thing. You might as well just cuss at the kid. But as a teacher, you are a guardian of that child, and you're meant to show restraint. You have professional training, hopefully some psychological training, so that you know how to deal with that. Maybe you're a parent. That's the same thing. You're an elected official. I don't care if Jason Reedy was standing in Kevin DeLeon's face calling him all the four-letter words. Honestly, you're really not even supposed to be four-letter wording back. And you're definitely not allowed to jump on someone, try to smash them into a table, and then hurl them around the corner down a hallway, which is what we saw on tape. And if you look at the videotape, Councilmember Kevin DeLeon leaves. He is safely out the door. He could go away and not come back. He turns around and comes back in the door to grab the protester, Mr. Reedy, and tries to choke him out, throw him down on the table, and he does it with such ease, like a well-practiced bully, like somebody that's done that many times. And his staff is all around him. They're there to protect you. They're supposed to step between you and whoever the person is, and they're trying to, but KBL won't let them. So why is Council President Krikorian saying that the protesters are a disgrace and it's not safe to do business as a politician anymore and all that BS? Where's the investigation? You haven't done an investigation. You haven't even looked at the full tape, and you're taking the side of the disgraced bigot who is under attack only because of his own actions. That's a big old no to that talking point. No, you're not in danger. Look, if you guys want to have security details, fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's a cold world. You know, if you feel you need it, fine. But don't use the protesters as an excuse, because somebody standing outside your home saying Black Lives Matter or resign now is not a danger to your health, and you know why they're there, because of something you did, and you're an elected official, which means you are meant to be held to a higher standard. You don't get to cuss out the protester. You do not get to push them down and try to choke them, even if they put hands on. And Reedy doesn't. He's standing like this. Look, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm doing the hands up, don't shoot, because that's exactly what Reedy's doing. His hands are up. You can clearly see them on the tape. He does not touch DeLeon. They say there was a headbutt. I didn't see any headbutt. At one point, the two guys' heads come close together, but I don't see any butting from either one. It's one of the few, wrestling moves that I don't see Councilmember Kevin DeLeon doing, nor do I see Reedy doing. Their heads are close together. That can happen when you're having an altercation. There's no headbutt. The talking points. And now Gil Cedillo saying he's a victim of cancel culture. Wah. Which is it? You're a bully or a crybaby? Stop. You're a victim of cancel culture because you did some unexcusable BS, and now you have to deal with consequences? Is that what cancel culture is? You big man babies? Stop it. Just quit it. Somebody need to call their mama, and we're going to go back over a few lessons about what it means to be a person, a human being, with honor, dignity, and respect. Just the basics. Nothing too fancy. Are you or is you ain't a man or woman of character? A man, woman, or other of character, that is the question. Cancel culture, wah. So accountability equals cancel culture. This is, I know the internet is out of control. Let's not act like, I'm not trying to say it's not. But when people complain about people being, I have to be politically correct, the cancel culture, most of the time what they're saying is, I do not want to respect you. So that's a BS talking point. Most of the time it means, I do not feel it is my responsibility or my business to respect you. If you're LGBTQ, I can call you anything I want. I can misgender you. I can say that your child is like a handbag. I can talk smack about indigenous people, and if you react and expect me to be accountable for my words and actions, then I get to cry and say, wah, I'm a victim, cancel culture. That's why conservatives, people that want to go backward, are the real snowflakes. Let's go to Tracy calling from LA. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I don't know. I woke up on one, Tracy. I don't know what's going on.
Girl, I was going, we need to go back to Mindful Monday and
All right. You're right. I did meditate this morning, too. But that's not what you called out. What's going on?
No, but sis, I feel you. And I have been on a tear about Kevin DeLeon since the tape leaked. And then 12 days, because part of his district is, downtown or Skid Row, and I hate to wait but that's Skid Row. October 20th, not long after the tape was leaked, my sister, who throughout her life has struggled with mental health issues and addiction, died on the street.
Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry.
We didn't know she was in the morgue. She was in the morgue for almost 3 weeks before we found out that she had died. We had no idea. And so as I'm listening to him talk about he can't step down because of his constituents, and excuse me, I'm getting over, on top of everything else, I'm getting over COVID. But when he sits there and says he can't step down because of his constituents, because he needs to be there for his constituents. What about my sister and the rest of his constituents on Skid Row, sis? Huh?
Yeah.
What about them? I was down there not long ago buying flowers for her service. And I'm looking around, and I'm looking at, and yes, you know, they did the recall, you know, they're working on the recall. How many millions of dollars is that going to cost? Wouldn't that money be better spent toward the people that he has neglected for all the time? Not just him, but just in general, but especially him now, because he is sitting there collecting his over $200,000 a year money on our time. And it's every fiber of my being. But, you know, because trust me, had I known where he was, I would have been out there, too, trying to find him. Because somebody needs to speak for my sister and all the other people who at least we found out that she died.
Tracy, hold that thought. I've got news, traffic, and sports. I want to say your sister's name, and I want to remember her when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Good morning, I'm Ree Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The White House is defending Dr. Anthony Fauci following comments from CEO Elon Musk. Musk called for the prosecution of Fauci over his guidance during the COVID-19 pandemic. White House Press Secretary Corinne Jean-Pierre.
These attacks, these personal attacks that we have been seeing are dangerous.
The Sheriff's Department in Uvalde, Texas, where 19 students and 2 teachers were murdered back in May, did not have a policy in place on how to handle active shooters. That's one of the conclusions of a newly released independent review. The third party in charge of the review says at the time of the shooting, only 20% of the sheriff's office had. And that's the latest. I'm Ray Harris on your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
NetSpend All Access. Get the mobile banking account with perks that add up. Banking services provided by an account established by Pathward NA. Member FDIC. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers delivered their best game of the season with a 20-point win over the Boston Celtics. Paul George had a game-high 26 points. The Celtics are staying in town to play the Lakers tonight. Jackson State wide receivers coach T.C. Taylor will replace Deion Sanders as Jackson State's new head football coach. The arrest of University of Texas men's basketball coach Chris Beard is further proof that misbehavior or criminal acts by sports figures is not always limited to athletes. Beard was arrested on charges of felony assault on a family or household member. He was placed on indefinite suspension without pay. Texas is ranked number 2 in the country in this week's AP poll. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP accident attorney. Slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call me your MVP.
Over 100 million people around the world have felt the thrill of Broadway's most spectacular musical, Disney's The Lion King. And now you can too. Experience this breathtaking theatrical event and see why the New York Times declares there is simply nothing else like it.
Give the gift that roars at the Pantages Theater, February 2nd through March 26th. Visit BroadwayInHollywood.com.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you.
Did you know that LA County Library has free Wi-Fi at all 85 library locations? That's right, free Wi-Fi. Now they also offer free Wi-Fi in parking lots at participating locations. Visit a participating LA County Library location, park in a library parking spot, bring your own device, connect to the Wi-Fi, and you're ready to connect with your friends and family, do some online shopping, browse your social media accounts, answer emails, do your homework, and so much more. You won't need a library card to connect, but you can sign up for one while you're there and get access to free books, ebooks, music, movies, and more. For additional information, log on to lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi, lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi, that's lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh my goodness, all hell is breaking loose, but in our city, thank goodness we've got a new mayor. Mayor Karen Bass has declared a state of emergency. Today will be the first council meeting with Kevin DeLeon, saying that he plans to attend the first council meeting with our new mayor. Not that the mayor attends the council meetings, but certainly she will rely on them to get things done, and also with 5 new council members. Tracy was sharing her really terrible and sad story of her sister who died in the downtown area on the streets, what we call Skid Row, which is part of DeLeon's district. And I wanted, man, I'm so sad for you and your family, and my condolences to you, and I just wanted you to have a chance, like, to say your sister's name and, and share a little bit about her, because it's sad when people go and and there's like a measure of anonymity or, that you're standing alone in your loss.
Yeah, it's every day I try not to cry, because she was an amazing person. And I'm sorry.
No. It's, I mean, of course you're crying. That's your sister. And it's such, it's not a fate we would want for anyone, even someone we don't know.
No. And she, she had her issues, yes, she did, but she didn't get the chances that she should have gotten. She was among a lot of people back in the 80s and the 90s who got caught up with, the crack epidemic in our community. And she didn't get the help afforded to, now that, we have the opiate crisis, and not to diminish what's going on. But because that crisis, or this current crisis, affected the certain segment of people that didn't look like us onto the crisis. But when it was us, it was criminalized. And she went out of jail and all the other stuff that happened to her, mostly because she was a woman and black. And so you think about what could have happened had she the help that she needed, the mental help that she needed, the rehab, and all the things afforded to other people, but not to us. Because when she was good, when she wasn't in a crisis, she was a sister, she was a mother, she was a daughter. And her name is Carol Sanders.
Carol Sanders?
And she deserved, Carol Sanders.
Say her name.
And Carol Sanders. And she was a beautiful soul. When people talked about her, they thought she looked like a movie star. They used to call, she was born in the 50s, and so she grew up, came of age in the 70s with her fair frosted feather cut and all that. And she just loved people. And she loved her family. She loved her children. She loved her siblings. She was my big sister. And she deserved so much better than she got. And so whenever I see Kevin DeLeon, and then when I saw that fight and him, like you said, a big man baby crying about I'm being attacked and I can't take this and all, and Paul Perret with the FU, these men. And I am so glad that Paul Perret turned out and he didn't go to his career politician and become the next controller. Thank you for Kevin Mejia for becoming our new city controller. I'm just glad that he didn't get a chance to go to his next gig, But it's just, I am tired of these people not taking responsibility for the things, not only the things that they do, but the things that they don't do. And there's no reason at all in a city in a city that has as much money as we do,
right?
That people there's just no reason. There's just absolutely no reason for anybody to be hungry, anyone to be unhoused. None of that. There's too much money. If what's his name could have spent, you imagine if he hadn't spent $110 million, I don't know, building affordable housing instead of running for mayor? How about that? It's just, I've been angry for the last, and I'm getting through it. It's been 2 months now. We just had her memorial the Sunday after Thanksgiving, this past Sunday.
Oh my goodness!
But I just, because we couldn't do anything because we had to go through the coroner and all this, and like I said, we didn't find out about her that she had died until right before Thanksgiving. So we didn't want to try to do anything until after Thanksgiving. Get people out here and all that. But I want people to understand that there is a crisis, and that you may never know anybody that lives in that part of downtown LA or anybody that is unhoused, but I guarantee you know somebody who does know somebody.
Right.
Who is, it's that 6 degrees separation. You may not know anybody personally that's in these situations, but then you also may know somebody that you don't even realize how close they are to becoming unhoused.
I think that's a really good point, Tracy, because I know that there are people that I've actually been in the workplace with and didn't realize they were living in their car.
Right. I know what it's like. When years ago, my son and I were unhoused and we had to live in a shelter. So on the streets, and we were actually in a safe shelter. So we
right, and people are living on people's couches. They're living in cars,
right.
And many of them they could be someone who's going through some kind of a shame situation where they won't tell you. So you may know someone and you don't know you know somebody. And for me, I don't even have to know somebody because I just don't feel like human beings should have to live in those conditions. Any human being.
It should not. Any human being. And especially people who, I was telling, I'm back, I'm getting my master's, and I'm like, of course, the oldest person in my class. And there's a bunch of, Gen Zers and in my class. And when I tell them, when I was working at Ralph's, I was a cashier for Ralph's for many years back in the mid-'80s into the early '90s. And when I left, I was a journeyman cashier, and I was making, I think, $18 an hour. And so when I hear people crying about $15 an hour, I'm like, I was making $18 an hour back then, But my rent was only $300 a month.
Yeah, right?
So,
oh, my gosh.
You know, in Leimert Park, y'all. I mean,
hard to fathom,
so
yeah.
It's so hard to fathom. And so you're thinking, you know, people cannot live in this city on $15 an hour. They cannot.
Nope.
It is impossible. It is improbable. My wife and I have an extra room. We just rented it out to a young lady who is struggling and, you know, working and trying to, you know, working basically 2 jobs to cobble together one. And she doesn't even have insurance. And so it's like when you see all this stuff and then you hear how much our city council people are making a year, and we are still and these same people are fighting because of who they, you know, who are I call them their sponsors. It's like, I think it was Bernie Sanders or somebody that said that, you know, how NASCAR drivers have their tags on who their sponsors are. I really believe that all of our politicians should be required to wear the patches of the people who are contributing to their campaigns, so we know, you know, well, if you're...
Yeah. That's an interesting idea. I love to see it. I saw that meme of the Supreme Court with patches all over them like race car drivers as a way of, like we always say, especially on a Talking Point Tuesday, of following the money. Tracy, I'm so sorry about your sister, Carol Sanders. Rest in peace, Carol Sanders. And I hope that your heartfelt tribute to her will be a wake-up call to folks that when we say 4 or 5 people are dying on the streets of L.A. every single day from being unsheltered, these are not anonymous, nameless people. These are people like Carol Sanders who have people that love them and stories and reasons for being where they are. And what we have to do and what the mayor has made plain in calling for a state of emergency on the first hour of her first day in office is that this is an emergency and we're going to have to take extraordinary measures to make it right. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
We may be LA's newest talk station, but when you're punching above your weight, it's not about whether you can throw a punch. Can you take a punch? We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. And we don't black down.
Barriers to mental health for Black and Latina women in California. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. A poll conducted by Evideris, sponsored by Black Women Organized for Political Action and Hispanias Organized for Political Equity, found that 77% of some 800 women participants experienced some form of discrimination due to personal characteristics. More than 3 in 5 respondents have had mental health concerns for which they did not seek care. These same women reported often having had negative experiences with providers. 70% of Black women and 54% of Latinas reported racial or ethnic discrimination. Another 59% of Black women and 55% of Latinas report assumptions were made about their income and education levels. 40% of Latinas reported discrimination based on assumptions about their ability to communicate in English, while 28% reported assumptions about their documentation or immigration status. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
Did you know it pays to rebates? You'll save thousands on the purchase of a new or used EV. And the more you drive, the more you'll save, both on fuel and maintenance far into the future. Start seeing savings today. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call me your MVP.
Special Needs Network Incorporated, together with Assemblymember December 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. Experience a day of giving, love, community, and support. There will be celebrity guests, arts and crafts, resource fair, and more. Come take a picture with Santa. Enjoy the DJ. This is a free event open to the public Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the Christmas Care Exchange in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. This is the season of giving, and the Special Needs Network, together with Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, wants to bless you Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be toys for all kids up to 18 years old. Children must be present. See you Sunday. Thanks to our sponsors, Let's Behold, The Butterfly Effect, and SEIU 721, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Niagara Water, Lakeshore Learning, Puck Schools, Crystal Stairs, Beach Cities, Beta Gamma Nu, Casa Lopez, and Los Fabulocos.
Find a righteous rage, and don't be afraid to say what you see. For KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, my goodness. Time flies when you're talking to you. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. So Gustavo Arellano has a column in the LA Times today where he says that we need to stop hounding Kevin DeLeon because it's playing into his hands. And I understand the spirit of what he's saying. He's saying that by DeLeon setting himself up as the Santa guy who's giving out toys and free trees and turkeys and whatever the heck he's doing, rather than apologizing for being a discredited, cynical bully, racist, homophobic, instead of that, somehow it makes him look like a hero and a victim. And now he's going around saying, wah, I'm not safe in them streets, even though he was the one beating up the protester, not the other way around. I get that, Mr. Arellano, but the alternative, which is let him play his little rehab my image game, is not okay. And sometimes protest ain't cute. It wasn't Jason Reedy who made the children cry. It was DeLeon when he turned a protest into a physical altercation by attacking and assaulting Reedy. Kevin DeLeon is the problem. The protesters are not the problem. So by calling them out in your column and not calling out KBL, he says, he should resign, and he calls them, cynical and all these things. But still, the bottom line is he's telling the protesters to stop, just as several members of our city council have done, and I couldn't disagree more. Stop it. You're taking his side. You're allowing him to control the narrative by saying that protesters are violent and dangerous and he fears for his life. You're allowing him to pull a Trump on us. Going to Big Phil from LA. Hi, Big Phil.
Good morning. Creek didn't ride this morning. Devil don't sleep. So let me say one thing. My condolences go out to that lady. Just terrible. And I had a wonderful time, you guys. Dominique, I was overwhelmed to see history of a black sister, 241 years, never had a lady, and let alone black lady. Oh, my goodness. I just had a ball out there with you guys, and I went down to Cool and Calf. He was down there, and I seen Molly Bell. It was just an extraordinary day. I put in my camera for the rest of my life. We on the move. They know we on the move. Ward off. DeLeon, I just thank God I wasn't there, Dominique. I'm not a bad guy. You know what I mean? But if I'd have been there, I think you've been going to the dentist. I've been to have a lawyer to get me out of jail. Period. He needs to go. He's a racist. He knows he's a racist. The other guy just stepped out. He lost the race. He out there giving turkeys and like everything's okay. Okay, it took a year to come out. See, God got a way of doing things. You know what I mean? Exposing. They made somebody mad in the inner circle. I think it was the Mexican rally that put that out of there. However, we're going to beat racists at his own game. It's just a matter of time, okay? We all come as a black race, very intelligent. The little black brothers are mayor. We are coming, okay? Ain't no stopping now. And number 3.
Okay, hold number 3. We're gonna do a big tease, Big Phil's number 3, and your chance to call 800-920-1580 is KBLA Talk 1580.
We don't try to be all things to all people. We just remain true to who we are. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefits concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for human rights. The Los Angeles Civil, Human Rights and Equity Department, or LA Civil Rights for short, is focused on reducing bias and injustices while leveling the playing field. LA Civil Rights does this through equity and empowerment, the Office of Racial Equity, hate prevention, upward mobility programming, and youth programming. They convene commissions and advisory councils. The Department of the City of Los Angeles is led by founding executive director Capri Maddox and is breaking new ground for municipal governance. LA Civil Rights oversees citywide initiatives, including the Renew program, LA Repair program, and the LA for All campaign. The LA Civil Rights Department believes that the goals of equity and inclusion for all people can be achieved through hard work and collective action. To get involved and be part of the solution, report a civil rights violation or get more information, visit civilandhumanrights.lacity.org. That's civilandhumanrights.lacity.org or call 213-978-1845. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know that LA County Library has free Wi-Fi at all 85 library locations? That's right, free Wi-Fi. Now they also offer free Wi-Fi in parking lots at participating locations. Visit a participating LA County Library location, park in a library parking spot, bring your own device, connect to the Wi-Fi, and you're ready to connect with your friends and family, do some online shopping, browse your social media accounts, answer and so much more. You won't need a library card to connect, but you can sign up for one while you're there and get access to free books, ebooks, music, movies. For additional information, log on to lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi, lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi, that's lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Coming back to you, Big Phil. I just wanted to give you a chance to land. I know you had a number 3 on your list.
Yes, let me say one thing. God was talking about homosexuality, the charge they make. First of all, nobody has rights to jump on a human being and actually what they're doing now. They rob them and shoot them. That's out loud, okay? Let God judge. It was a sin, let God judge. They have a right. They stay prerogative, you know what I mean? But the key is, the only thing I got against that, they can't make generation biological kids insanity for the next generation. Because one time, I'm serious, it happened many times when they adopted the kids, who are my daddy or my mama, and that's heavy, okay? They have no rights. That's what they want to do. Let God deal with that. And, just on any homosexual, your sister, I got a little nephews up in Missouri. He's a cross-dresser, he's a yellow boy at high ocean. A lot of times I won't talk to him. I do. I love him regardless. You know what I mean, Dominique? Regardless. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, and we can get into that whole discussion because a lot of LGBTQ plus folks are having kids, biological kids. Yeah. They're either getting artificial insemination or, they're having a friend help them have a baby. Yeah. And the ones that are not actually having their own children, many are adopting children that no one else will take care of. There are so many children left in foster care and adoption that need homes. So who are we to judge?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The only thing I'll problem, like I said, I'm sure kids have said, you look up one day, so who's my daddy, who's my mama. That's it. That's what they want to do. They say prerogative.
Because some of us do that anyway.
You know what I mean?
That can happen to you even if you don't have LGBTQ parents. Who's my daddy? Who's my mama? Sorry, go ahead.
Look at that. I love you guys. It was a wonderful, wonderful day to be with you guys. And let's carry on. Let's fight on for our rights because we are going to win at the end, okay? Fight the good fight. Let's finish the course.
Yeah.
I love you.
You're right, Vic. Love you more. Appreciate the call. And you're right. It was a beautiful day. It is a time when we should be celebrating, and I am, But I'm still like, I'm not going to take my eye off the ball, especially as we see the rhetoric ramping up, this being a talking point Tuesday. I got to call it out. Kevin DeLeon, resign. Gil Cedillo, stop it. Be quiet. Oh, I'm a victim of cancel culture. Nah, you're a victim of your own mouth writing checks that your behind can't cash. That's what you're a victim of. You're a victim of accountability. You're a victim of folks demanding respect. And Arellano's point that, it's a bad look for us to be booing elderly Latinos who want to support De Leon. Well, we're not booing them. We're booing what they're saying. And while it's true that his constituents are the only ones that can recall him, it's also true that his foul actions are now holding the entire city hostage. So the constituents of his district are not the only ones who should have a say or a voice. While they're the only ones that can vote to recall him, they're not the only ones that have something at stake. Our whole city is being held hostage. Time to call me, 800-920-1580. It's KBLA, Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.